Oh my God. Okay, get this. What if the show ended, right? And then this was the last one that we wait, what?
What's up? Huh?
Hi, Sean.
Hi?
What's
What's up?
going on?
What's up? What's going on? What do you got? You got your earpiece. Are you getting some breaking news?
No, no breaking news other than this is the last time we'll be doing this show, Sean. So
Yes.
I was trying to make it dramatic, but I think I missed the mark. Y-
I'm currently remembering to tweet the episode out right now, as which it wouldn't be an episode. It wouldn't be this show unless I was forgetting to tweet the episode until right this second. Hello, how's it going,
Yeah,
Dean?
what? Yeah, not bad. Just wondering what if we tweeted out the episode
What if?
early, wondering if I can do it from here.
Let's
I
see.
can.
What if
What if
we
I could do
actually
that? Technology.
promoted this show? Question mark.
Yeah, but
We'll
it's
just
over
have
now anyway. We've been cancelled. Um,
boom. That's just we're gonna have
as a
that cover
show,
for
not
the
as
rest of the
people.
episode. Yeah. No,
You
I've
know,
also been canceled on Twitter. I
it's a
can't. I can't even talk
pandemic.
about it. Ongoing
It's a pandemic of
litigations.
cancels as well as other things. But you know, some probably more beneficial than others. But moving on,
I'm taking the ticker off.
where's the? I tell you what,
What?
what? Why is the Watcher not interfering in this situation? That's how you
Are we
bring it on
not important
track.
enough? He said that these stories mean everything to him. Do we mean
He
everything
loves
to him?
them.
Apparently
Is
not.
he?
He's
When
not.
he's saying
He,
that line, is he basically saying like he's a comic book collector? Is he supposed to be an allegory for us, the fans?
I did like
Is
that line
that
a
what?
lot.
Is that what's supposed to be happening? Where we want to like, theorize and speculate and all these different stories that will never actually happen, and how it just consumes us and ends up being, our own worst nightmare.
What a great way to start off the episode, Dean. Very light,
Oh
very
man.
feel good. Very. We're really up. We're really up today.
I mean, this episode is called "What If the Watcher Broke the Oath," and I hate to break it to you guys, but I'm pretty sure he broke that last week.
Yeah.
Like when they were like smashing each other into another universe, or like every 2 seconds. But now he's broken the oath, so I'd be interested to see that oath there, Watchers.
Yeah. The exact wording must be very specific.
But specific rules. So we start off the episode in a fun way. We get way more interconnectivity than like
Wait,
not
a
quite the
lot.
not quite the levels that some might have speculated on this show more than others, but we definitely get a nice chunk. Um, we straight in with Cap- Captain Carter, the Winter Soldier. Everybody,
Yes.
like we get the opening from Winter Soldier. Apart from she gets the job done pretty fucking quick. Like so quick that Batroc's still like on the the, the
Yeah.
top of the boat instead of like in the
Yeah.
wherever he in the bridge or in
Yeah.
those chambers
She
in the
kicks
what is
ass.
it, the Lemurian star,
Yeah.
the boat. So he gets taken out pretty quick. But although I'm getting ahead of myself because we get this banter with Black Widow and
Yeah.
Captain Carter,
Yeah.
and I don't know how I feel about this dialogue, man. Like they're
It's
just cracking jokes, um, making dancing jokes, Steve jokes. Like that's this dude's been missing like for decades, and she's
apparently.
just cracking jokes about the missing. Yeah, that's not cool. Like,
Apparently, yeah. Pretty crazy stuff.
uh, how are you feeling overall, Sean, about this
I mean,
episode? Because I got
I,
some mixed feelings.
look, once it all got, I actually really enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed catching up with everybody's world, and I was really glad that when we jumped back to these characters, they were in the middle of the plots that, like, we were talking about. A lot of these episodes left off on
Yeah,
cliffhangers, and we kind
we
of,
even get.
yeah,
As I say, we even get to jump into the middle of the plot of that really good episode with Tony Stark and Gamora. Oh wait, no, we didn't. but this episode just treats us like we apparently did, because it just includes that one in the montage of all the other ones that we've seen. But go on.
Sadly, and I think that's my
Motherfuckers.
biggest takeaway from this episode is I would have rather waited 2 or 3 more months to watch this show and had the Gomorrah episode in here
Yeah.
than because that's what it was. They didn't have time to finish the Gomorrah episode, so they had to push it to next season. But this episode acts as if we watched it,
Which just like, because I wasn't sure about the rumors of the cut episode until like recently, and then it became more apparent. But like, this just like, they could have not addressed it and not had. I mean, they didn't
I
need to have the
presume this
Tony in
episode was
there.
already. I presume this episode was pretty much already done, and that trying to mess with it would have
Why would you
defeated the whole
finish this
purpose of
episode
pushing back.
before the other
No,
episode?
that's how animation works. That's
You know,
I mean, that's how animation works.
they could have like
They do
started the
these
show a little.
orders.
They could have started the show a little later, a couple of weeks later, and then had the last 2 episodes as one big episode at the end.
We could have had a whole
something.
thing where they're drawing the finale in front of us as we're watching.
Yes, we need that technology. Instamation. There you go. I just copyrighted Instamation.
But overall, I liked this season. I liked this episode fine. I really liked how it tied everything back in. I think every episode ended up being relevant by the end, which was really nice because we were talking about it like, how the fuck are the zombies going to be important, right? How is this Fury's
Yeah. Yeah,
how
they
is any of this
incorporate.
stuff going to come in?
Yeah, they incorporate some cool elements of stuff where it's like there's not necessarily like a main hero from each episode, but some of the other ones do kind of play. And I thought that was a nice touch. Um, the zombies moment was cool, although they kind of ended, pretty abruptly. I was really digging that scene, and then it's like,
And then
oh
it just
no,
kind of moves on.
it's what they come with, and then you get Scarlet Witch. You're like, oh, of course, and then it's just like, oh fuck it, I'll just blow up this planet then.
I think that was my
That's
biggest
it.
problem with the episode overall was the pacing. It's just it was
It
only like 36
flies.
minutes, and you barely really
Yeah,
get any time of these characters interacting with each other.
yeah. The
I don't know.
first third of this episode, I'm not digging at all. Like you say, we're just jumping around from from frame to frame almost, and every other joke, every other line is a joke. Because Party Thor is relentless. Literally every time he's on the screen, it's either a really lame visual joke or a really lame spoken joke,
Yeah.
or him screaming. It's just
Yeah, the humor didn't really work for me either.
not. And considering the stakes, they've all been told the stakes. Not, not only is we got Party Thor is joking, which at least we expect from him, but Doctor Strange, Mister My Love of My Life, got murdered, and I'm all dark and diseased with dark
Yeah.
magic, and I'm like cracking jokes and quipping with the others and pouring beers. Like, really? Like, come on. We've got Star Lord over here who's pretty light-hearted, and light-footed as well, taking out a vibranium vision powered by all the Infinity Stones, and Star Lord with his rocket boosters just knocks him over.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, we're doing that, and this is before we get the magical force fields, so it's just
Yeah.
I'm getting
They
ahead.
really
I'm getting
used
ahead.
they really used Doctor Strange to his extent in this episode to make this the most Dragon Ball Z ass episode
Yeah, no,
of
they do some great stuff
like
with him later on in the episode,
yeah.
but I just thought it was a weird choice to
But
kind of really lighten him up.
even the body, like the magic shields that he gives everybody, it lets them take some serious punishment. Like like
Yeah, those
people are
things are
going
pretty
through
good.
walls. Like it's crazy.
I mean, more than going through walls, they're like getting
Yeah,
shattered through
yeah,
dimensions
yeah.
and
And they're like,
stuff, and
I'm good.
they like they're doing that quantum leap stuff that in Endgame they needed to wear the special suits for, so it's some pretty high level shit. And I
Yeah.
can't help but think if he can just do that for anyone, then why wouldn't they just get like fucking anyone? Like if he can just do that on top of what people can already do, I just thought maybe y- and if he's that powerful, maybe he doesn't need the other ones because he does a lot of stuff in this episode, and I'm all about it. Tentacles, he's summoning three-headed dragons.
Which what
Like,
does doesn't he say that like they were just there to get the stones away?
yes,
So like it didn't really matter who it was. They didn't need to defeat Ultron. They just needed to get the stones away.
could he have not just made six little force fields around the stones and just pulled them out and
Oh,
what while Ultron's busy
probably,
fighting the three-headed dragon and the tentacle monster that he's just conjured up,
probably.
and then be on his way.
But where's the fun in
Um,
that?
and also, so first the rule is that you can't use the Infinity Stones in another universe. Then what if kind of says fuck it? Um, you kind of can in different maybe different versions of the Infinity Stones do work. And then in this episode, not only do they not work, but they still do work, but you can't destroy them with an Infinity Stone destroyer from a different universe. And I just they're
And
really
it's
stretching this logic in too many different directions for me now. And I
like
know it's an animated
it's
show about fucking magical stones, but come on, let's have
it's
some
it,
rules.
it's also just not an issue. Like the Infinity Stones outside in Loki, they say that the stones can't be used in the TVA. Not that they can't be used in another universe, that they specifically can't be used in the TVA. The
Do they
TVA,
definitely not say
no, they don't say in those movies. We don't have anything saying that they can't be used outside of their
that's the
own
precedent in
universe
the
yet.
comics though, right? Is that they
Yes,
can't be
in the
used.
comics they can't be used. Nothing about that
Okay,
in the
so I
movies.
thought that was established in Loki. I
But I
must have
read
missed the
somewhere
mark on that.
today I read somewhere today that the writers said that they aren't being used, that Ultron is powering them somehow. And so now the writers are saying that they can't be used outside of their own universe. Which is like that wasn't even an issue. You didn't need to come out up with a workaround for why the stones are working because the stones can work. Loki tells us they can't be used in the TVA. TVA is clearly outside
Oh
of the
man, this
timeline.
is a whole
Like,
writer director Captain America
yeah,
Endgame dispute all over
yeah,
again, isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah.
It's going to be one
It's
of
just like
those things, and they're
it's
going to have to do something. They're going to have to address this in a movie or somewhere in another series of
I
this.
I really hope that there's some fucking oh god, who wrote Doctor Strange? Was that the guy from Loki in the Multiverse of Madness? Was it Waldron or something? Michael Waldron. Did he write on? Yeah, he wrote Loki and he wrote Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I need this dude to lay out the rules of the multiverse in Doctor Strange. Like he's like they said they had this big
Yeah,
meeting at Marvel Studios where they went over it. I need that in. I mean, he's a great writer from what we saw in Loki, right? I give
yeah,
have him give have him give fucking Jeffrey Wright as the Watcher a monologue in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, where he just explains all the rules to this stuff because they have to at
yeah.
some point, and they have to do it soon.
Do we think Doctor Strange is going to get the Time Stone back at any point?
I
Because
don't
they
know.
kind of set it up as such a like central part of the character, and then obviously then
Yeah,
another writer for another movie come along and said, yeah, but for our plot we need to like smash that because it's actually got this other thing inside of it, and your thing outside of it is kind of pointless without our thing that we want for our plot, and we're going
now
to
it's
take
a
away your
third
toy.
writer. Now there's a
Uh
third person. Now it's a third person working because Michael Waldron didn't do the first movie. That was written
So
by Cargill. He works with Scott Derrickson a lot. So it's now a third set of writers directors handling Doctor Strange. So
yeah, they just keep pulling away. You know, my point is, do we think that having Doctor Strange get the Time Stone or get a version of the Time Stone from a different um multiverse, and then and for some reason end up keeping it for himself because maybe that universe is ended or something?
I mean,
Not
maybe we
only
do
would
the
that be a
Illuminati
good
shit.
way, it'd be a good way to get Strange's time stone back for his Eye of Agamotto, but also that'd allow for a nice little bit of exposition as to why it works, and then we can just squash this whole issue. That was my point.
I kind of just
Because
don't
we
want them
care
to
about this
fucking.
stuff, man. We really do.
I kind of just don't want them to talk about the stones for a while. I kind of
Yeah,
just want. I kind of just want to go like 10 years. Like you can bring them back in a movie 10 years from now. You can have them somehow bring back the stones. They do it all the time in the comics, and give them one each to the Avengers and do like an Illuminati storyline if you want to. But
it
I
would be
just like
fun. Yeah.
give it
Like
time.
they said they were gonna leave it. They said it was gonna be a long
And it's like the main plot
time.
point of this show is the
And it
Infinity
is,
Stones.
and they, again, we was all talking about them when they showed up in Loki. And again,
But that was
they're
a
quite,
really good moment of like we're beyond that now. Right?
yeah,
That was it.
it
Like this
was,
isn't the central
yeah,
plot of what's going on. It's just that like these were here, they don't really matter anymore. And in this one, it's like,
yeah,
hey, by the way, the Infinity Stones matter a lot because if you have five of them, apparently somehow you can just like break out of the multiverse and do weird shit.
yeah. I mean, I'm hoping by the time we get to season two of What If, is that being confirmed? I don't know if it has.
Yeah, we're getting a season two. We don't know when.
Um, like by the time we get around to that, we would have had Eternals, you know, and all these
Yeah,
Shang-Chi
I'm
and
assuming Doctor
multi
Strange.
multiverse of madness and Spider-Man and
Yeah,
all this stuff. So the potential of like what kind of big bad guys or big events they could do in season two is going to be crazy. You know, you could have like, you know, who knows? We could get like Null and the symbiotes. We could end up with
mm-hmm.
all kinds of stuff by the time we've got you know, the Celestials. We, you know, all these
Yeah.
cosmic deities and stuff like that. So I think
The
we'll
only
be able to
thing,
get away from the Stones for a while, hopefully, for season two or What If.
yeah, the only thing with animation is that it takes a really long time to do, and you're writing really far in advance. And they talked about the reason that like none of the Disney Plus stuff factored into this is because they were writing it while the Disney Plus stuff was going on, and they were told like, hey, you can't use this stuff because we don't know how it's gonna go yet. So
Yeah,
I mean, maybe season four will get to touch on stuff from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. You know what I mean? Like maybe season three. I mean, if the show keeps going, they talked about in an interview that
I'm hearing, this made me
yeah,
think of something real fun. So I'm hearing all these rumors about increasing this show, about the Defenders cast coming back
mhm.
in this Echo series that's in development. Are you
Yeah,
hearing this?
like I've heard pretty much the entire Daredevil cast is going to be in it.
So I really rooting. I didn't love all of the shows as much as others, but I really loved all the actors, and
Mhm.
even Finn Jones. I think he just wasn't given a fair shot. I like that version of the character. I wanted to see it
Mhm.
develop into a more
Yeah,
traditional Iron Fist, which it more than could. Anyway, my point is, by the time we get to season two of this, season
yeah,
three, they could do like a what if the Defenders were at the Battle of New York
that'd be so cool.
as an
That'd be so
episode.
cool.
Like the possibilities of what we could get in, like I say, just the span of next year and the year after, how
Yeah,
much more content there'll be for them to pilfer for what weird what if stories. Really
I will
excites
say
me.
I'm more excited for season two because we've kind of fucked around with the boring movies at this point. Like we messed around with all
Yes.
the Phase One movies in this season, and we hit Guardians, which I love Guardians, but we hit Guardians, we hit Doctor Strange. Like next season, all you got like an Infinity War what if, Civil War what if, like
Even if characters that were like appeared in this, they could have their own stories, like side characters. Like now we've kind of been reintroduced to Howard the Duck a little bit. What if Howard the Duck was in the Guardians or something, or
I
what if
did
Howard the Duck saved Xander,
yeah,
you know,
I did
this
see
go.
today I did see today, sadly, that the head director, I think, confirmed that there had been talks of a Star-Lord T'Challa spin-off before
Yeah,
Chadwick
I
passed
thought it
away.
was weird for them to kind of like publish this little news thing today. Like,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
let us
yeah,
enjoy the episode and the performance, and it is the last one. Even though we all kind of treated his episode like that was the last one, this was the last one. So they could have just let the episode sit for a day before they come out and say, "Oh, by the way, we were gonna do this and now we
yeah.
can't." Like, yeah, of course you wanted to do that. Like, who wouldn't want to do that? That show would have shat gold. Like,
For real.
people
Oh
would
man,
have
I'm still
eaten that
so
up.
excited. Still so excited for all the animation stuff coming though, because they opened a whole fucking studio for this stuff. Like this is just the
Yeah,
beginning.
and I definitely feel like we've been hearing rumblings lately. There's more in production than we think there is.
Yeah,
When do we get these Disney Day con
November
thing where
12th.
they October the 12th?
No, November 12th.
Oh, November 12th. I was gonna
We
say
got
that's
about a
like
month.
soon.
Yeah, a little over a
So
month.
hopefully we'll probably get like a sizzle reel of like a bunch of the shows, and then they'll sprinkle maybe one or
Boba
two
Fett,
full trailers.
Boba Fett trailer.
Yeah, I'm hearing good things. I've seen a couple of
I'm ready.
articles that say they've heard some scene descriptions and stuff,
Yeah.
and it sounds fun. I haven't read any of the stuff. 'Cause
I, to bring it back to this episode,
good
I
idea,
mean,
Sean.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't have a whole ton to say. They had a big fight. It was visually very cool to watch.
Yeah,
There was a lot of really questionable plot choices, and then everybody just kind of got dropped off back where they needed to be. Well, except for I did really like Natasha's ending, where Natasha got to go to the world where Natasha had
yeah, that was
died.
fun. I knew that character was going to come back. I knew she'd end up
Yeah,
like on the
yeah,
team in some capacity.
yeah,
But yeah, the first third of this episode was choppy and jokey, and then the middle chunk of this episode is like one big fight, and then like
yeah,
the third part of the episode is like another big fight
yeah.
with some wrap up on the end, little ribbon on it.
Did like the Killmonger stuff. I did. I
He
liked that.
was it was just yeah, it was cool because it made sense, but also it was just like you clearly own it's just so obvious that he was only in this episode to do that because he doesn't do anything else for the rest of the episode. You almost forget that he's there in a couple of the scenes, and then
Yeah,
the whole point is because as soon as Ultron goes down, he's going to be like, "Oh, we can use these to save
yeah,
everyone and double the resources." It's just like it almost felt
yeah.
like it was just fan fiction
A
on the
little bit.
screen
A
to
little
me,
bit.
and you know, mate, it was fine. It took me out a little bit. It was just so obvious they were just keeping him in the back pocket for that one story beat. And
Yeah.
now we're just going to leave him in a pocket universe with Arnim Zola
That has to come
just
back.
fighting forever.
You can't
So
just leave that
yeah, that's a
alone
big
forever. That's gotta be
and
something.
it's a terrible idea. If you're the
Oh yeah.
watcher, you've broken all of these rules, done all of this stuff, and that's how you want to leave it.
It's like
It's like
it's like
it's like taking a shit and only wiping once. Like just wipe again. Just wipe
I
again.
I read these books. At the end of the third book, they trap like this ultimate evil force in a stone, right? Then at the beginning of the fourth book, they're like, what'd you do with that stone? And they're like, we dropped it to the bottom of the ocean. It's like, what? And they're like, oh, nobody's gonna find it there. And it's like, that's what this feels like. It's like, you've got this
Yeah.
extremely dangerous thing. We'll just leave it here. But
Or
it's like,
here's a good idea. We've got a really extremely powerful weapon. Let's
yeah.
let's inject it with a Nazi super scientist and see what happens. He's
Yeah.
gonna just shut the robot down and then leave, right?
Yeah, because, the Nazis infamously didn't want to hurt anybody.
They are lucky they got off as lightly
Yeah.
as they did.
Yeah.
Because
That could
he
have been real
literally
bad.
could have just injected into the eye. He just snaps his fingers straight away. Boom! Now you live in a Nazi
Boom.
Earth
Yeah.
universe. Like
Yeah.
boom, it's done. Like it was
Fucking,
the 40s, they've won, and now we're in a dystopian. You
like
know,
Earth X from the CW verse. Like, fucking,
it would it that could have gone so bad, and I don't know why we didn't really pick
but
up on that as much when we were talking about the last episode.
yeah, how it's a terrible idea. But it did give us awesome imagery of fucking Arnim Zola's face on the stomach, kind of looking a little bit like MODOK.
Yeah, they even did the little tentacles coming out. Like
Yeah,
I knew what they
yeah,
were trying to make me think about.
yeah.
You know they're
Just
setting that
do
up.
MODOK, Marvel.
We're
Stop
getting
beating
cap.
around the bush.
I definitely think. Well, I'm calling this right now. In Captain America 4, the opening scene will be Sam and Bucky taking down MODOK, like the Winter Soldier scene with Batroc. But
Yeah.
we'll get We'll just straight into a mission. They take down MODOK. That's the end. Quash that. Move that on with the Infinity Stones,
Dude, I'm
and then
dying
we'll
for
get into
one
the
of
plot of
these.
Cap 4.
I want one of these Avengers movies so badly to do like the comic book thing of open up the story by defeating somebody nuts. Like, imagine
Well, they kind of
Avengers
do this
6.
in Age of Ultron, which is why I
Yeah, they
like
take
it.
on Hydra. Yeah, yeah. Like, but like, can you imagine? Like, we can't do this because Thanos is dead. But can you imagine like we start Avengers Secret War or whatever, and the first like 20 minutes are them taking out Thanos because Thanos came to town and he wanted the stones again, and they were like, "How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?" Like,
Maybe this is the time that he comes in the copter,
oh,
in the Thanos copter, which we saw in Loki.
so on
Oh
Loki, it's
man,
canon. It's canon. At
it's
some point,
canon
that
that there's
happened.
a universe where Thanos had the helicopter and maybe
Why
got
wasn't that in
arrested.
What If? I want to see that
It
universe. I
That
want to see
could
that
be,
universe so
and
bad.
now with the version of Thanos we see in this season, where he's all of us, T'Challa's just turned him into a goofball.
Hey, what's up,
You know,
guys? It's me,
it's not
Thanos.
it's not ridiculous that that version could have a helicopter where he just kind of like just comes to Earth. It's like, oh, this is really nice. The helicopters are cute. I'm gonna make one and fly around and rob banks.
Oh no!
You know,
The building's on fire! What are we gonna do? Never fear! Thanos is here! In my helicopter! Climb on,
like
civilians! Like,
yeah, man, do that. What if? But do it in like an actual like cheesy 1960s
yeah,
animation style as well.
like
I
old
know they're not.
Spider-Man.
I know they're never gonna do that.
No.
They set the president too much with
Visions
this
has
show.
spoiled me with all the
Yeah,
diverse animation styles. I'm like,
and there's
that'd be
no way
so
they're going to
fucking
make any
cool.
drastic change to this
No.
for anything. Like they probably already
So,
made season 2.
so season 2, is it gonna be like this again, where we just do like 8 episodes where we're seeing different characters, and then episode 9 we have to all come together again? Or do you think we're actually gonna follow up on some of these characters being like unable
I
to just
think
move forward now that they know?
a little column of A and B. I think
Uh,
some of the episodes will be just new, base
Yeah.
scenarios that we build off of, like a lot of these episodes were. I think some episodes will maybe follow on from these episodes, or maybe
Mhm.
some will not necessarily follow on, but be like adjacent to some of the universes we've already seen. So it's like other stories taking place from
Post
different
credit
characters'
scene
perspective.
sets up
You know,
the Captain Carter continuation.
like just as they won't do this, but you could as an example, we could have a whole episode of like Pepper Potts running Stark Industries after Tony Stark drops dead,
That'd be cool.
in
Yeah.
the donut shop. Does she
Which
build
time?
rescue, and then we get a whole like rescue episode,
Yeah,
with Pepper.
that'd be cool.
We do something like that. What was Betty Ross's therapy like after having the Hulk explode all over her? Like, is that the She-Hulk origin right there?
Oh no,
the
that'd be pretty crazy.
blood in
That'd,
your eyes. It's
yeah,
like
yeah, that'd
28 days later.
be pretty nuts. That'd be pretty
But
nuts.
yeah, I mean, fucking man, they did zombies, and
They did.
it
And the zombies
they
came
did
back,
okay.
baby. They came
The
back.
zombies are back. It was a whole like it was a we have a Hulk moment, but it's like we've
Yeah.
got zombies and the zombie Scarlet Witch. Enjoy that for
Yes.
all of 5 seconds, because that's how long even Ultron lasted with Elizabeth Olsen before a whole planet exploded. That's
What if?
passion right there. I guess he was human after all.
Here we go. Here's the what if for you. What if Wanda's hex devoured the Earth?
Oof, that's
That'd be a
brutal.
good. That'd be a good episode. What if the hex covered the entire Earth?
I don't want to be that guy, okay, but isn't
Okay.
she supposed to be like a Nexus power being? So shouldn't there only not really be an alternate zombie like Scarlet Witch that
I guess
powerful?
not in the movies. I guess.
So then are we saying that this version is less powerful than the movie version, and this version swallowed a whole fucking planet, basically, possibly, or at least partook in the destruction of said planet in an instant?
Well, because imagine here's how it happens, right? Like Agatha's like, "You ain't a Scarlet Witch," and Wanda's like, "All right, cool, power," and the suit comes on and all that shit. And then they're like, "Oh, Wanda, you have the powers. You defeated Agatha. You're gonna give up your family now, right?" And she's like, and she just snaps her fingers and fucking is like, "No, I'm not giving up my family," and takes over the entire world with her hex.
I mean, man,
Can
we
you
could we
imagine?
could very well get an Agatha episode next season.
That'd be
Like, we
cool.
could have like a good version of Agatha, or
You know
maybe a
what I want?
version where she won.
I want Marvel Studios. What would be the name of this? Marvel Studios. Not what if it happened. Um, I want a Marvel Studios show that's an anthology of Agatha in the Prime MCU timeline. Of like, give us more of her backstory. Show us like a story from her past. Show me what happened to
Yeah,
Justin Hammer, please. I'm begging you. Where is he? Like, like.
yeah, that stuff would be great. Like, you could just do like a whole Corgan Meek thing.
It doesn't have to be
Like,
a what if. It can be like this happened
yeah, you
sometime.
could just do like little shorts, like, like the one shots, but just
Have you
little.
seen Shang-Chi yet?
Nah.
Oh, okay, I
Or
was gonna spoil
Venom.
something from that, but I won't. I won't.
Oh man, yeah.
I was, there's a good what if you could do from Shang-Chi. Or not a what if, a good like side story like this happened. Not what if it happened. Marvel
It's just
Studios, it happened.
it's just called when.
Yeah, when
When. Whenever it happened, I don't know. It did. Coming soon. Happening soon. They are. I missed the mark on that. Should have had that straight off the bat. But anyway, I feel like we're missing some major stuff here. What are we not covering? Because there's so much packed in. There's so
a
much
lot of
packed
fighting.
in.
It's a lot of
There's
really
so
cool
much
fighting.
ridiculous fighting. I love how their powers all come together.
Yeah, the armor
They do a
looks
really
cool. I
good
love the
job in the
designs of the
two.
armor.
Yeah, in the two big like action scenes that we get, which is kind of like loads chopped up into little smaller ones or whatever. But
Mhm.
we get the stuff with like we've got the chain constructs, and then we've got like the shield, the double
All the
shield
hammers.
stuff going on, all the hammers. We're getting all these cool mixtures of like um all the powers. It always make when they get this stuff right, it always makes me think of Marvel's Ultimate Alliance games. where you could do the attack
Yeah,
fusions,
yeah.
and
God,
and
games are
like
so good.
one of you would be playing as like Cap, and the other would be playing as Iron Man, and then you do that thing from the Avengers movie where you fire your beam at the
Yeah,
shield,
yeah.
and it
Yeah.
splinters off everywhere and takes out the room of enemies. I love that stuff. I want to be in a writer's room just coming up with that stuff because that looks like the best
Mhm.
stuff. Like them just brain farming all these power combinations just makes me a little bit semi, you know.
Mhm.
And they do a lot of good stuff like that. We get the circle shot, you know, from the Avengers. They
Yes,
recreate
yes.
that with these, which is a little on
The
the
Guardians of
nose.
the Multiverse, do they call them? Is that what he
Yeah,
calls
they
them?
call them the Guardians of the Multiverse. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Well, they're not much of
That
Guardians
felt
of the
lame.
Multiverse because they all went back and they don't remember it apparently.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So like if we do ever ex expand on these characters and maybe bring them back together again, are they then gonna remember their last adventure together in this episode? Or are they just going to be starting? Because that'll get old real soon if everyone's meeting each other for the first time every time.
I doubt it. I'm sure it'll be like, oh shit, I remember. How dare you do that to me? And then he'll send them back and they'll go, oh, I forgot again. It's just like every time they meet, they're like, you have to stop doing that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. They're playing fast and loose with the rules because it's what if, and what if it was universe where the rules were like that? So let's do it. You know what? What they didn't do is the sword. Where's the Captain Carter sword? That was like my favorite thing about that episode. The sword and
Doctor
the
Strange
shield.
could have given her a cool one.
It put it
The
put
flaming
her
sword
on
of
such
Balzamon. I don't know,
the
like
sword
fucking some
and the
cool
shield
shit.
put such a cool like you know it was firstly it put like a cool like English spin on the whole thing because it's a it's a sword and a shield like medieval and
Yeah.
and the stuff we got with the action with that was amazing and why would you not be using that why would you it worked so well
Like fucking
it
Doctor
it
Strange could summon the sword of greater destruction of
it made no
Gilzanon in the dimension of
yeah
whatever, like some weird cool shit.
just really distinct, like distinguished her fighting style from Cap's when she started using the sword, and it gave her own like silhouette. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it gave her like a really kind of felt like she came into her own because it was a nice, slightly different take. Shield, sword, put them together. It seems obvious. It might just work,
But
and
no.
it did. But anyway, no sword, but we do get two shields, and they we do get a great scene of them bapping about poor old Ultron getting knocked for
Mhm.
six this way and that way. Um, is it a little bit easy that they're doing that?
A
Yeah,
little bit.
but
A little
it's
bit.
fun to watch. And, they've got the force fields on, I guess. But, yeah. How many of those can he do, man? Like, are we just going to have like a whole army
I
of
don't know,
force
man.
field?
A
Doctor
lot.
Strange, just like evil Doctor Strange, he's got nothing to do. So he's just going to start recruiting superpowered people, powering them up even more, and
And
making his
sending him out.
own dark army. He's going to turn into Sauron. He's
It
going to
would
turn
be
into
really
Sauron.
cool if in a movie eventually we'd get like a Doctor Strange movie where Doctor Strange is like fighting all of these people that keep showing up and they're super strong and he's like, what the fuck is going on? Where do these people keep coming from? And he finds out that like this evil Doctor Strange or this dark Doctor Strange is like powering up bad guys and sending them out into the multiverse. That'd be a pretty cool movie. And he has to
There
go
you
find them.
go. That'd be some fun stuff. Oh man, I'm so excited for Doctor Strange. I really want to see that fucking movie.
I really
I
want
mean,
to see Spider-Man.
yeah, well, that goes without saying, but
Yeah.
Doctor Strange, have they started filming, right? Have they been filming?
Doctor Strange, I think it's wrapped. Comes out in March.
Fucking hell. So maybe we're gonna get a trailer for that in a month. Uh, Like,
Yeah, it concluded in April. They finished filming in April. There should be a trailer this month.
ooh,
I,
Yeah,
I, I'd expect. I mean, okay, let's look at the future. Let's fuck this show. Let's look at the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and see when we should be seeing some trailers for stuff.
because
Um,
this Spider-Man trailer, the gap between that and the release date is the shortest gap I think we've ever had for
yeah,
a
but that's because they're doing weird shit with Spider-Verse. I don't think they're
yeah.
gonna do that, and I bet that's also a Sony thing because Sony's in charge of the marketing for Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, because I had this
Um,
down to an art, man. You would always get a trailer 7 months from the release of the
Here's Phase
movie.
4. Here's Phase 4. Okay, what do we got coming out? Eternals, we saw the final trailer for already. I don't think we'll see another one for that before we're done. Before it comes out. It comes out in less than a month. Um, No Way Home, I'm guessing we'll get another trailer. It's not December. Probably. Have we only gotten a teaser trailer, or did we get
We've
a
just had the one
full
teaser
trailer?
trailer, and I did hear it like a week or so ago that we was going to have another trailer within the month. So I'm assuming at some point this month,
Yeah.
um, probably
Multiverse
close to when
of
Eternals comes
Madness.
out.
Yeah, Multiverse of Madness, probably a teaser this month, I'd say. Because that comes out in March.
Here's
Thor
the
Love
thing
and
though,
Thunder. Yeah.
you can't presumably because the logical place to have a Doctor Strange trailer would be before Spider-Man, right? But they potentially major spoilers
Well, remember how
for
they did
Doctor Strange.
remember how they did No Way Home? They did a teaser trailer that really didn't spoil anything from Endgame, and then like the day Endgame came out, they were like, "All right,
Yeah,
here's a new trailer," and Tom Holland was in front of you like, "Hey guys, go watch Avengers Endgame before you watch this
yeah.
trailer. It has spoilers
I
from
think
it."
we'll get that. I think we'll get exactly that again with the Doctor Strange trailer because you've got to assume that they're going to be chronologically pretty close together and that
Yeah,
the events are one.
I think we're gonna get the
Yeah,
teaser. I think we're gonna get the teasers this month. Then maybe another trailer in like January, and it'll be one with spoiler warning for No Way Home.
yeah.
This comes out in March. And then
I
the
didn't
only other
even
thing
know
that
it
we'll
was that soon. I thought it was like November.
the only other movie that I think we'll get a trailer for before the end of the year is Thor: Love and Thunder, and we'll probably get a teaser in December because that comes out in May.
That'd be cool.
Um, as for the shows, I think November 12th we're gonna get a trailer for Hawkeye. I think we're gonna get a trailer for Miss Marvel. I
Do we
think
need another
we'll
trailer for Hawkeye?
I think they're do. I think the trend with Disney Plus stuff is they do two trailers. One
Yeah,
maybe 2 months before it comes out, and then two like the second one like a couple weeks before it comes out.
I just think that trailer just sets up the show so well,
Oh, I agree, but I think they're gonna do another one.
and obviously if they do another one, which they will, it's going to have like the villain in there, and based on what I'm
Yeah,
hearing about who the villain could or might be, I don't want to see that in a trailer. I don't, if it's like a Yelena from Black Widow or you know
hmm
Vincent D'Onofrio or whatever that all these things that I'm hearing. I don't want to see them in the trailer. I want to get that reveal. I want to see them step out on their own 2 feet in the show. Just because we
I,
know they're in it. Like Spider-Man in Civil
yeah,
War, that would have been just so much cooler
it
in
would
the
have been
movie
so
theater.
cool. Yeah,
Even if we all officially know that he's in it, which we would have done, basically, it's just same with Toby and Garfield. Don't put them in the trailer.
I hope
Let
they're
them.
not in the trailer, dude. I really hope not. There, yeah. Actually, there's yeah. Moon Knight and She-Hulk. I think we'll get not teasers but like sizzle reels of on November 12th on Disney
I'm
Plus
so
Day.
excited for both of those.
Me too.
They're really getting into some of my favorite comic book runs with those two. Going to be good.
But that's the future of the MCU for now. And normally this is about the time where I would tell people what I'd give kind of a state of what Marvel, and I go, well, here's the plan for the next show. Um, I can't give you guys that this time because I'm not going to be here next time. This is my last episode. I got other stuff that I'm going to be working on, and I don't really have the mental capacity to do this every week. To the extent that I do on this show. So I will not be back for Hawkeye. Normally, this is where I'd be like, this is who's going to be joining me on Hawkeye, but I can't do that this time. I don't know if I don't know who's going to be on Hawkeye. I'm not privy to the nuclear codes. They don't tell me.
Wait, Josh, can I get those? Can I get those? Please, can I have the codes?
Can I have the codes? Josh the Merc does have the nuclear codes. He's shown me the piece of paper that they're written on. He won't let me see them, but he's showed me
That's a
that he
hard
has
copy.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a
smart.
hard copy.
Real smart.
That's a mistake. Those things should have like one digit, and everybody has one digit, but then only one person knows not the order, but the order of the people. So they don't know they don't know the order, they don't know the whole code. They just know that it's Jeff's digit, then Dean's digit, then this other guy's digit, but I don't know what their digits are.
Is this a Squid Game? This sounds like a Squid Game.
This is a Squid Game.
Everyone picks a number, and then you order yourself into single file in front of each number,
and
then get your honeycomb on.
Oh man.
Some kind of buggy thing flying around me. I'm not insane. I nearly said in cray. I might have just invented a new word. I'm not in cray. Although that could have connotations. I'm not inside anyone by the name of Cray currently. And on that note, it's going to be sad to see Sean.
Yeah.
That's the end of the shadows. It's just sad to see Sean. No, but no, we'll still be talking about this stuff and other stuff, more stuff, not less stuff. Both,
I'm still
on just other channels and Boba Fett. Yeah, we're gonna be talking. Are we doing that over on
Jay's channel? Yeah, I can't not talk about Star Wars. Star Wars is everything.
And also, we'll be talking about Visions on Friday.
Yes, on Friday we're going to be talking about the last 3 episodes of Visions.
We're going to do the last of the trilogy of 3-episode runs.
I was like, we'll get through it easy. 3 episodes each, it'll be fine. And then my work was like, would you like to die? And I'm like, not really, but you're not giving me much of a choice.
Yeah, possibly 3 of the best episodes. Really good. Really good. But people aren't liking that bunny rabbit. I hear in the chat online, and I know that people aren't liking the bunny rabbit, and I'm just like, fuck you. Just trying to have fun. But we'll talk more about that on Friday. You can get me on Twitter for more gold like bunny rabbit takes at Dean Lewis 2099. And I will not say fuck the bunny rabbits. Bunny rabbits for life. Sean,
you guys can follow me on Twitter. On Twitter right here at Sean
to the Twitter handle. Follow that.
This show at Movie Blog Merc.
Follow that like a rabbit Jedi would follow a glowing blue carrot.
All right, we got to get out of here. This is going. I don't know what he's gonna say next. Bye, guys.